Kabisa.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Dr. Kevin Raphael, the coordinator for ECO Sessions. I would like to welcome you all to our biomedical engineering training session today. I can see a few of us have not joined yet, but I think the number is big enough so we can begin. So as usual, I would like to share with you the agenda for our session today. As I said, our session today is going to be based on biomedical engineering training, and we are mainly going to discuss about oxygen concentrators. So we are going to have a welcome remarks and introduction of some key participants. Then after that, we are going to have a 20-minute quality improvement case presentation, which is going to be presented by Benedict Biseko, who is a biomedical engineer at MUSOMA Regional Referral Hospital. And then we are going to have a brief 5-minute period for questions regarding the case presentation. And after that, we are going to go through a didactic presentation, which is going to be led by Mr. MR.DASS GUNALAN, who is a biomedical engineer from ASSIST International. And then we are going to have general discussion, comments, and recommendation regarding the topics which were discussed today. And after that, we are going to have concluding remarks and announcements. Ningependa niwakaribishe wote sasa tuanze kipindi. Lakini kabla, before going further, I would like to welcome at least the ASSIST International team who has joined the session to briefly introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is GUNALAN. So I'll be presenting the oxygen concentrator part of it today, more to troubleshooting, how to look into it, fixing the unit, all that. So I'll be talking about that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Guna. Please, for those who have, make sure that you are muted so that we do not cause any audio interference. Okay, so I would like to welcome as well the BMET team from MUSOMA. I don't know if you are already prepared. Benedict and the others from MUSOMA.
Yes, Kevin, we are prepared.
Can you please start the video? We would wish to see you present.
Okay. The bad thing, yes, Kevin.
Benedict, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you start the presentation?
Okay, so our first presenter today, as I said, is going to be Benedict. I'm going to be sharing his screen. Benedict, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Please continue.
Yeah, so this is progressive report for medical equipment for Mala region, January 2020. As you have seen on the shared screen, the following are the deliverables which we are having. The first deliverable, we plan to achieve equipment function status of at least 90% at MUSOMA RRH, Tarime District Hospital, Nyerere District Hospital, Shirati Hospital, as well as Manyamanyama Hospital. And the focus was based on medical devices found in surgical units, surgical areas, maternal and infant care departments. The deliverable number 2 was to provide preventive maintenance services to 5 safe surgery hospitals, which we have selected. And the third deliverable was to achieve response time of 72 hours at program sites. So these were the plans which we had when we started the engineering team and Assist International, that we will have the 3 deliverables. As I've shared with you, number 1 up to number 3. Kevin, I'm having a challenge to see the PowerPoint.
Benedict, can you see the font now?
The PowerPoint.
Benedict, can you see? We have tried to enlarge the font. Can you see clearly?
Yeah, I can see it, but as if it is like, is it in the form of PowerPoint?
No, it wasn't. This is the way you sent it. So.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if it will be clear, because what I wanted to show them, it was the progress which we have in MUSOMA for the 5 hospitals technically. So when I'm looking at it clearly, I don't see. So, at least here okay. I can say. Try to do something. You did something. The labels on top. Oh, I can try to share it from my phone.
Okay, Ben, I'm going to just share the screen and then we are going to figure out what we are going to do regarding.
Okay.
Ben, can you continue? Okay, so mute to console.
Can I share it? Oh yeah.
Yes, please share if you can.
Yeah, okay.
Benny, okay, Benny, you can. Benedict, I'm going to share the PowerPoint. I've got the last one that you sent. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now we are good. Thank you so much. So it's the progressive report for medical equipment for Mara region. So here are the deliverables which we hoped to achieve in MUSOMA hospitals. The first one was to achieve the equipment functional status of at least 90% for all the 5 hospitals. The second was to provide preventive maintenance to the 5 safe surgery hospitals, which they have been selected. And was to achieve maintenance, the response time of 72 hours at program site, so that when the site like Manyamanyama call us, we reach there within 72 hours. Yeah, you can go to the second slide. So here is like is the summary of key indicators, the progress now, where are we now? So you can see for MUSOMA, Tarime, Shilati, Manyamanyama, Nyerere, and the regional overall. The functional equipments, all the medical equipment in the hospitals, you can see in MUSOMA, we are having 81% functional equipment. And for the surgical unit, surgical department, the status is 90% of working the functional equipment which are working in MUSOMA hospital. When you go to Tarime as well, you can see the number of functional equipment for the whole hospital and for the surgical department. It is 63 to 58. When you go to Shilati, you can see it is 73%, and for surgical it is 74. When you go to Manyamanyama, it is 69. For the surgical unit is 57. When you go to Nyerere, it is 46. And for surgical is 33. So you can see these are the achievements. Before it was not like this. So we have, at least we are going to the 90% which we have planned for the first deliverable. So this is this is the very big progress for MUSOMA Mara region to the functional equipments. You can go to the next slide. So that slide you have seen the progress which we are in now, the status of medical equipment which are working. So you will see now here the supportive tools which have given us that victory to have that high percentage of medical equipment to work. First is the number one is we are having order tracking tool. This was designed by Assist International for ensuring maintenance activities are performed effectively and in time, and as well to control maintenance activities. It is a special program. It's very nice, it's very good, and it has largely contributed to have a high number of working medical equipment. The second one, we are having the test provided by the Assist International. This test equipment, they ensure that all medical equipment give correct outputs to patients and give room for engineers to plan for the next PPMs for the medical devices, as well as planning on purchasing of spare parts needed. Test equipment can show when the medical device will need to change its spare parts. So you can see it has given us a very good room to plan for the next PPM, to plan for the time to change its spare parts to the machines. That's why you see the number of working medical equipment is so high on the list. And the third, we are having the corrective maintenance tools. They are very nice, very good, provided by Assist International, oscilloscopes and other devices, which we use to do corrective maintenance. They have highly contributed to achieve a lot of medical devices to be active in Mara region. Instead, we are having a biomedical workshop. It's designed for biomedical activities. It has contributed as well. And last, we're having the checklist forms for PPM and corrective maintenance. And you will see today from Mr. Guna, he will verify on how to use those checklist forms. You can go to another slide. So apart from the good stuffs which MUSOMA is having, we were faced with challenges. And I thought it would be wise as MUSOMA team to share with you those challenges. As you can see, we have the good workshop. We are having the good tools to solve medical issues concerning machines. Still, we are having the challenge. This challenge is the one which have hindered us to reach that 90%, which we targeted that all sites will have medical equipment functioning at that percent. Spare parts, it is the major challenge faced in Mara region. And we as MUSOMA team, we believe after solving this challenge, we'll be able to reach the planned target. So MUSOMA team asked support from Bugando and Kagera team for the followings. What do they do for the device which they don't have, they cannot track, they cannot track, or they have lost the track of its vendor? So that we know that the vendors are the ones who provide spares. So what do they do for the devices which they don't have any information? And second, it was, what are the markets? You can go back to there. What are the markets which Bugando and Kagera use to purchase reagents and controls for laboratory medical equipment which are in open system? We had these two challenges, so we wanted to share with Bugando and Kagera if they have the experience on this, so they can share with MUSOMA team. You can go to another slide. So these are the current medical equipment that need spare parts and reagent. As I've explained earlier, what we need to know from Bugando and Kagera. So here are the machines now which we need the spare parts and the reagents. We are having number one equipment type is hematology analyzer. Manufacturer is Oriba, ABX, and brand is Micro 60. Requirements are the reagents and controls as well, and spare parts. Second, we're having the equipment type chemistry analyzer. Manufacturer is Elba, brand is Chem7. Requirement, we need reagents and control. These two machines, which are here, we had a very hard challenge to find the people who are supplying the reagents and control to these machines. You can go to another slide. Also, we have in another equipment. It is chemistry analyzer. The manufacturer is Humalizer. And brand is shown here, those numbers. Requirement is the spare part. It had the display problem. The display was not actually working. So these machines, we didn't find the vendors. That's why I put them here, so that Buganda and Kagera can share with us the experience which they use to this kind of machines. You can go to another slide. I've put the pictures. So this is hematology analyzer. And here is the requirement is the pump. I don't know if you can see it well. Yeah, you can go to another slide. I've put it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, here is the pump. Here is the pump which we need. No, not that one. The white one, the like a box one. Yeah, definitely. This is the one which we need. So we find it hard to find. So I said I will share with you. Since we know the equipment type and the manufacturer, at least you guys, you can help us on how to find the spare parts. You can go to another slide. So this is the chemistry analyzer, which currently is present in Tarime Hospital. The problem was the reagent. Actually, it's written here, no funded, stuff like that, but the big issue was where to find the reagents. This was the big issue, where to find the reagents. So I wanted the Bugando team and Kagera team to share with us on this kind of equipment. How do they do to get reagents and other stuffs, which they don't have the vendor for laboratory equipment. This is, I think this is the last slide. Yeah, thanks so much for the attention.
Thank you, Benedict, for the good presentation, and we congratulate you for the work that you have been doing in the safe surgery hospitals in Mara region. I have a question. This is of my own, and I'm going to welcome anyone else who has a question who would like to ask the BMET in MUSOMA. So one of the things that you mentioned as deliverable was achieving 90% functional status of the equipment, and I saw the chart there. In MUSOMA Hospital, it was around 90% functional status for the surgical, for the equipment in the theater and the surgical unit. But I've seen for Manyamanyama, it is 57% of all the equipment, and Nyerere is only up to 33% in the surgical unit.
Sure.
I just wanted an explanation as a point of discussion as why these big differences between these hospitals. So maybe we can discuss it during the discussion time. So maybe we can just think about it for now. And I'm also going to welcome any other participant who has a question. Kwa mtu yote mwenye swali angependa kumuuliza Beni na BMET team ya MUSOMA. Any question regarding our previous presentation? Okay, if you come up with any question, you can send it through the chat, and then we can discuss it during the discussion time. After saying that, I would like to welcome Mr. Guna, who will take us through the didactic presentation. Guna, if you're ready, you can share your screen and begin the didactic.
Yep, sure. Give me a second. All right. So you guys can see the screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to talk about troubleshooting oxygen concentrator. So before that, I think most of your hospital in Mara region you got oxygen concentrator somewhere or other. So normally what happen is you guys going to find a common problem of alarm buzzing on the oxygen concentrator, and you are not sure the output is working properly, all that. So the basic thing that you need, some test tools and some basic details about the oxygen concentrator, because some alarm is for low pressure, some for high pressure. At the same time, you got alarm for low oxygen purity percentage. So this, you get this type of alarms that you need to know. Okay. So first step, normally you're going to connect to the power of electric outlet with the correct voltage, 220, especially in your region, and check that. Before that, you check your filter is installed according to the manufacturer instruction, all that. And the bubble humidifier attached to the oxygen outlet port. So when you turn on, you're going to hear a buzzer from the unit. So when you get the buzzer, then eventually the buzzer stop and the process of flow will go on. So you got a flow meter. Normally you're going to adjust the flow meter and you're going to attach the humidifier, all that. So how you want to check oxygen percentage? You got an oxygen analyzer to verify the percentage. So normally you need to have some sort of checklist before you verify. So before you verify the oxygen on the concentrator, sometimes you end up getting a buzzer. That may be due to the low oxygen or maybe low flow, low pressure flow, all that. You can get this type of buzzer. So the best thing is verify the oxygen output by using oxygen analyzer. Check if the percentage is good enough, then you can use it. If not, you need to check. So this is sample of testing report for oxygen concentrator. So you're going to check first step, oxygen concentrator output. So when your flow setting in 1 to 3 liter per minute, you should get somewhere 92 to 96. And when you set 4 liter per minute, the percentage change may be from 89 to 96. Depends on the model of the oxygen concentrator. When 5 liter, your oxygen limit can change to 87 to 96. At the same time, you got cycle pressure. These are basically checking the high pressure section and low pressure section on your oxygen concentrator. If this particular pressure is not achieved, there's something wrong with the system. Maybe a leak, or maybe your valve is not working properly. So all these kind of things that can happen. At the same time, you got a battery test load alarm 5 seconds when you start up. So when you're on, there'll be an alarm, all that. When power failure, the alarm will be continuously on. And there's normally a battery of 9 volt inside the oxygen concentrator. So you have to check, is it above 7.5 volt? So these are sample of testing report that you do. You have to test accordingly to find out whether your oxygen concentrator works properly or not. So when I mention high pressure on the cycle pressure, that's a 220 kPa. So that's on the valve section. So when you talk about high pressure section, you have to check the valve that inside the oxygen concentrator system is working properly. These are normally the valve used for high pressure. You got release air and internal air input. So these are valves that control your oxygen to the system. Okay, so it send air to serviette and release nitrogen through the valve. So this is how the thing works. So normally there's a black tube that going on the high pressure section. So that particular tube is a circuit that you can measure high pressure system. Okay. Some device for oxygen concentrator, you don't have high pressure section, but some they have high pressure testing section. For low pressure, every single unit, they have a low pressure section. So can you see the blue tube on the near to the mixing tank? That's a part of low pressure section. So you're going to check the low pressure is working properly or not. Normally when your low pressure is failed, you're going to see your flow meter is going up and down. So that means something wrong with the pressure. That's how you see normally. And sometimes due to they got a low pressure sensor, pressure sensor, that's going to detect something wrong with the low pressure and is going to give alarm. So you need to know that part of it. Okay, how to use oxygen concentrator, oxygen analyzer to verify purifying. So you can measure through the humidifier or you can measure directly. And you need to adjust the flow meter. So that's how you do it. So on the part of oxygen concentrator, you got pressure regulator, compressor, solenoid valve, serviette tank, blow down muffler, mixing tank, flow meter, oxygen outlet. So when you talk about low pressure, normally is near to the mixing tank, and high pressure normally near to the solenoid valve at the bottom. Point of checking. Okay, if your unit is not working properly, if the unit does not operate when you turn on, so check the power outlet, fuse, circuit breaker, and thermal resistor that used for the heating on your compressor, and check exhaust outlet blockage. Okay, these are normally when you cannot power up the unit. If the flow and patience seem inadequate, check the tubing and connection equipment for leakage. Try shorten very long connection tube, double check all the connection, verified flow delivery at the concentrator outlet. If all check satisfactory and you doesn't operate adequately, please refer diagnose flow chart for further troubleshooting. So I did attach a diagnose flow chart to make life easier. So what's wrong? Low concentration, compressor does not run, and you got audible alarm on off, power switch on position, compressor run with intermittent alarm, and concentration at 5 liter is within specification. Compressor shut down intermediate, compressor does not start. All these are symptoms that you can see, and you can see the troubleshoot guideline. Okay, I did a flow chart that when low priority, what you need to do. So these are the steps that you can take and make life easier by going step by step procedure and to do the tests. End of the day, you need to use oxygen analyzer and digital pressure meter. These two devices will be very useful when you're doing troubleshooting your oxygen concentrator. Okay. So that's the only thing, Kevin. And anyone got any question? Or I'm too fast?
No, you're okay, Chief.
Thanks, man. So anyone got any question related to this? The troubleshooting guide. This will be very helpful, make life easier, especially where you get a junior engineer. This will be very helpful. Kevin, over to you. And anyone got any question? Let us know.
Okay, thank you so much, Guna, for taking us
No
through
problem.
the didactic presentation.
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
So we are done with the didactic presentation, and we can now enter into our discussion regarding what was presented as a quality improvement case by Benedict, and also regarding the didactic presentation on troubleshooting for oxygen concentrator. So perhaps I'll begin by, so I think Benjamin sent a question. Okay, so Benjamin, I would like to give you the chance to ask that question.
Yes, Kevin, thanks. Hi, everybody. Guna, just a quick question for you. When it comes to valves in the high pressure side, even, and you realize there's an issue there, are there ways to conduct troubleshooting with the valves without having to completely replace the valves? So what does component level troubleshooting look like, or repair look like for valves?
Okay, when you talk about valve, what happens is most of the time is going to drag in air from outside, from the atmosphere air. So what happens is, if your filter is not good, all that is going to drag into the valve and block the valve. So another way of doing is to remove the valve, clean the particular line. So when it blocks, you can clean up. Sometimes what happens is, because it's electrical valve, the coil become weak. You need to change the coil. That's another second thing that commonly happens, but it's very rare. But normally you get blocked inside the valve because of dirty air going in, because your filter have been replaced so many years, all this. Benjin?
Yes, that was good. Thanks, Guna.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin, for the question, and Guna for giving the explanation. I wonder if the BMETs from MUSOMA have any question regarding oxygen concentrator. Benedict and your team, do you have any question or point for discussion?
Okay, thanks, Kevin. For the questions we don't have, we are still making up, trying to see the whole presentation and try to write something down.
Okay. I see also Engineer Velius Kyoba from Bukoba, you have joined the session. Would you like to speak anything about the didactic presentation or any discussion point you might have or comment?
Thank you, Benedict and Guna, for good presentation. But for now, I don't have any.
We cannot hear you clearly. If you can put the recording device closer to your mouth, maybe we can hear you better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, at least it's better now. Yeah, go on.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I'm taking this. Yeah, I'm taking this chance to thank all who has presented, but for now, I don't have.
Okay, thank you, Velius.
We have got a question here in MUSOMA team.
Okay, please welcome.
Okay, we would like to ask Mr. Guna, if we can see that when you increase LPM, we see it oxygen decreases from the limits. So what does it make the oxygen to decrease to the limits when you increase LPMs.
Okay. What happens is when you increase your serviette tank, both of them going to work much more faster. Okay. So when it start to work much more faster, the interproduce of oxygen will be reduced. That's the reason you get less oxygen sometimes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Please, the participant who asked the question, could you introduce yourself?
Actually, I'm Emmanuel Francis in MUSOMA team, biomedical technician.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Position to turn on your video, it will be good so that we can see each other. But if you are not in a good position, it's also okay. Oh, so now I would like to welcome anyone else. Ningependa nimkaribishe mwingine yeyote kutoka kwenye Spoke Hospital ambaye amesikiliza presentation ya oxygen concentrator. Kama una swali lolote regarding hicho kifaa cha oxygen concentrator ambacho ungependa kuuliza BMET, ningependa pia nikukaribishe. Kama kuna ufafanuzi ungependa upewe kuhusiana na oxygen concentrator au matumizi ya oxygen concentrator. Okay, thank you, BMET from MUSOMA. It's good that we can see each other. So nice to see your faces. Okay, so if no one has a question regarding that, perhaps Benedict, you can respond to the question I asked earlier about the difference in functional status of the equipment in the two hospitals, Manyamanyama, Nyerere, and MUSOMA. These big differences between these two hospitals. I just wanted to know what do you think would be the contributing factor for this.
Thanks, Kevin. And I think I would love you to share that screen so that we can talk from that screen.
Can you
Thank
see
you
the
so
screen?
much. Yeah,
Okay.
now I can see the screen. So as you can see now, Nyerere, it has function equipment, the percentage of working equipment, it is 46. And to the surgical area, it is 33. The challenge with Nyerere, why it has lower readings, it's because it has old equipment, very old one. So it comes now when you go to maintenance or corrective maintenance to those machines, you won't find the spare parts. So nothing you'll do to those machines. They are very old. They have to be changed. So that's the case for Nyerere. It has very, very old medical devices. That's why you see on the list, it is very, 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 very down. So that is it. But when you go to MUSOMA, most of the machines are bland. I think they have been bought recently. So that's the difference.
Thank you, Benedict. So you want to even the functional status of 57% you're saying is most likely due to old equipment which have no easily accessible spare parts.
That's definitely. But another thing, apart even from that, because for this, for Shilati, I can say, machines are good, they're in good way, in good status, but to get the spare parts, so it's a challenge. But to Nyerere, it is the issue of oldness of machines. But to other hospitals like Shilati, which has 73, it is because of the spare parts, as well as Tarime, spare parts. That's a very, very major challenge.
Okay, thank you so much. I remember also, stop share. You asked the question to the, I don't think there's any Bugando BMET member who has joined, but you asked the question to Kagera BMET, and you asked, what do you do with a device when you have lost the track for the vendor? I remember that's the question.
Yes.
I don't know if Mr. Kyoba is still with us. No, I think he is not with us. I don't know. can anyone can respond to this question as a point of discussion? What do you do if the device which you, when you have lost the track, I mean the track for the vendor, if you have lost track of the vendor, what do you do with that device in terms of getting the spare parts? So I would like to welcome anyone who would like, would feel comfortable to contribute on that discussion.
Okay, I
Hi.
think, yeah, go ahead, Ben.
No, go on, Guna, after you.
Okay. Another way of doing is because sometimes when vendor keep on changing, so the best thing is to email the manufacturer to get the detail of the local vendor. So as long you can get an email to the manufacturer, they will give you a feedback about your local vendor. If Tanzania, they because normally they got an agreement, so they're going to give you the detail of the local vendor. So that's another way of doing.
Okay, Guna, thank you so much for the explanation. Benjin, did you want to add anything on that?
Yeah, I'd like to. Thanks, Kevin. I think this whole issue with procurement, as most of us are aware, also points to an issue that is prevalent in most hospitals in Tanzania, and definitely needs some attention at a national level, especially with the Ministry of Health, the Healthcare Technical Services Division. And I wonder if, I think, Benedict, aren't all of you connected on a WhatsApp platform or Telegram platform with HCTS, Engineer Mavanga and his team?
Yeah, I can answer that. We have one WhatsApp group, which are all the medical engineers and technicians with Mr. Mvanga together. We have one group, WhatsApp group.
Got it. And so I wonder, like, I mean, I hope you guys engage on that platform and make a request for any information within the network. I suppose you may be surprised at the amount of information you could get from that group. And oftentimes with equipment that is procured in bulk from the ministry, I think people like Engineer Movanga can provide information as to exactly, where the parts can be. Maybe you will learn about a 3-year parts contract that was connected as a part of the procurement or something. So it may not always lead to a resolution, but at the very least, I think you need to maybe keep putting things there so everyone is aware of this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Benjin, for that. So I think the contribution mainly is to use that WhatsApp platform to see if you can get much more information on some of these equipments. Another question, Benedict, I remember you asked another question was what are you asked about the hematology analyzer and the chemistry analyzer, I remember. Can you ask that question again, Benedict, so that we can discuss it?
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I wanted to verify the market. That was the only target. So that's why I put out those machines which we have, which needs reagents and reagents actually in controls. For hematology machine and for chemistry machines, I put the type because I thought all of us today will be together, Buganda and other team. So they see the type and try to help us, or if they know the markets. Yep. Definitely, yeah. So these are the machines, hematology analyzer, the manufacturer, and the brand. So I wanted to ask them if they know the market, they can share with us. It was Buganda and Kagera. But so thanks for the information which Benjin and Mr. Guna has given us. I think we'll work on them.
Okay, thank you so much. So any other question or point of discussion that you would like us to discuss? Evelios, do you have anything you would like to contribute to the discussion? Oh, I think his network is not very stable.
Kevin, I have a question for the MUSOMA team.
Yeah, welcome, Benji.
Thanks. So Benedict, can you talk about, I think you mentioned the hospital enrolled the BMET team in a competition, a quality improvement competition?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, can you explain a little bit about the details of that competition? Is that a national competition or is it something just within the hospital?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we're having the, now as the matter of fact, I'm one of the members for the quality improvement team in the hospital. So the quality improvement team, they have a competition within the hospital to make sure that all the department lies to the standard, to the quality standard. So our department was observed and it met the criteria which the quality improvement team wants. So they included us in the competition. Not for this quarter, for the last quarter, but for the coming quarter we are in. So that's the good thing I think I can tell the people, our team here, that the MUSOMA team, technical department, we are now called engineering department. We are now into the competition, quality improvement, like to improve the quality standard of each department. That's all,
Awesome.
Benji.
Yeah, and when does the competition end? Like, I mean, is there a winner announced or what does that look like?
Yeah, actually it has winners. I think I can share with you, you know, I think I have it. I have like, I can send to you, but the winner receives Lakitano in, how do I say Lakitano in English, Kevin? Help me. So the winner receives that amount.
500,000.
The winner receives that amount. And the second winner receive you minus like in Nebro, that's the second winner. So it has prize, and the prize is money. It is after 3 months, after every 3 months.
Got it. Okay. Good. Well, it's good to hear that some of these like data related components that you've added to your HDM team, Benedict. It's good to see the kind of impact that is having, and encouraging everybody to pay closer attention to the work they're doing. So really good to hear. So we're excited to keep hearing more about this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Benedict, I wanted just to know more about the competition. Is it a interdepartmental competition? I don't think if I got you earlier.
Okay, thank you. Is all the departments are involved, and we are having one competitions, like we're having the rules, and each department is is passed through those rules. So we have the rules, and those rules are run for each department, and the department which win those rules for quality, now they receive the award. So it's all the hospital, all the department, administration, all ICU, theater department, laboratory department. Like the information for the time being, I've received them today. The winner for this time competition, it was emergency department. It was ICU department. The second one was emergency department. The third one was CTC. So that's the information.
Thank you, Benedict. I was wondering what the competition was assessing. Is it like 5S, assessing the 5S criteria for each of the departments? Or?
Yeah, it has a lot. It has like 10 parameters. Okay. Leadership, transparency, 5S, the Kaizen, CHOP. If your department has the plan for year, I mean the CHOP, you have heard of it. So it has It has everything, seriously.
Okay, thank you, Benedict. Do we have any other question? Kama kuna swali lingine au point ya discussion? BMET team from Soma. Gladys, do you have any question? Any comment or point we could discuss before we end this session?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. So Guna, would you have anything maybe to say, to add? I think we have covered our objectives for today.
So far, I don't have anything to add, but I hope they got more questions in future.
Okay. Okay, Guna, thank you.
Welcome.
Right. Okay, so I think we have gone through the objectives for today. So we have had the progress report from the biomedical engineering team from Mara region, led by Benedict. And also we've had the didactic presentation on the troubleshooting on oxygen concentrator. And we have gone through them. Since we have we still have some time, I would like to welcome anything else for discussion, even if it's outside the main objective for today, but related to biomedical engineering issues. I would like to welcome if anyone has a question or a discussion point which they think would be useful, just to cover up this time that we have remaining. Kwa wale walioko kwenye spoke hospitals, kama una swali lolote kuhusiana na utengenezaji wa vifaa vya hospitali, tunayo biomedical engineering team ambao huwa wanapita kwenye hospital, so unaweza ukauliza kwa muda huu tukadiscuss kwenye kipindi. Our colleagues from Nyerere, Mr. Joseph, I can see you have joined the session. Kama kuna swali lolote kuhusiana na vifaa vya hospitali ambalo ungependa kuuliza biomedical engineering team, au changamoto au kitu chochote ungependa explanation.
Sina swali Dr. Benedict, nashukuru tu kwa good presentation. Sina swali. Sababu ni kidogo ningeweza kuongelea kwa hizo asilimia tulizopata hizo kidogo. Ndio vifaa vyetu vinaliwa vita wataalamu wanaona indicators za function keys. Nasema tumepata sub3 lakini sawa, kirudi naamini kwamba tunaweza kupata mabadiliko zaidi. Ukija tuweze kuvipitia vile vile tuone. Lakini good presentation. Nashukuru sana. Asante.
Okay, asante sana Joseph. Kitu kingine chochote kuhusiana na BMET ambacho ungependa to discuss?
Thanks, Kevin. I want to ask, first of all, I thank the person from Shilati, from Nyerere. Thank you for the good comments. And I want to ask Guna, is the possibility for him to purchase the spare parts in his country, because I've seen the price is lower down. Is it possible for him to buy them and transfer them here?
I can look into the parts and come back to you guys. Maybe I can look into that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me go and check and come back to you guys. Okay. But you need to give me the part details and the photos.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
The BMET from Soma, I think you had something to say.
Yes, thank you. We don't have a question. It's just a point. It's just something I would like to say, that the hospitals, the Nyerere Hospital and the other hospital, Manyamanyama, Shirati, that they should prepare that next week the BMET will be there for ESU at Cosadico units, operating rights and operating beds. So I think we would like if they would cooperate and they should expect for us and also prepare. So.
Okay. Okay, asante sana Gladys. Unaweza ukaisema kwa Kiswahili pia? Just mention it in Kiswahili pia, nadhani na watu wengine wasikia ambao labda hawajaelewa.
Sawa. Kwa wiki ijayo BMET tutakuwepo katika hospitali hizo Nyerere, Manyamanyama, Shirati na Tarime kwa ajili ya surgical unit, surgical beds na operating ramps kwa ajili ya PPM, preventive maintenance. Kwa hiyo wajiandae, lakini pia watoe ushirikiano tunapokuwepo pale kwa huo muda wote.
Okay, asante sana Gladys. I hope natumai wamesikia na perhaps watawapa ushirikiano. Okay, so if there is nothing else to discuss for today, I think we can conclude. Unless Benjamin, do you have anything you would like to add?
I do not, Kevin. I'm just so proud of the BMET teams in Mara region and all the work that Avilius is doing. You know, we've done these training programs in multiple countries, and from a scores perspective, the way Avilius has scored, the way the BMET team in Mara has scored, you know, they've just been exceptional. And we've also seen some of the work they're doing by in-person visits. And we've also been looking at the data very closely that they're turning in, along with some data quality check through Dr. Innocent. And all in all, Tanzania BMET program has just been such a good program, outdoing most of our programs in other countries around the world. And so I'm just so proud of this whole team, and especially Avilius and Benedict. And we just can't stop bragging about them enough. There are so many challenges still to work through, but I think it's very safe to say, and we can confidently say, the challenges are not with their technical capacity or their ability to lead. The challenges at this point are mostly related to things beyond their control, like procurement, you know, and still a certain lack of, say, accessories and consumables, and maybe some other test equipment for other devices. So that is a really cool place to be. And so we're just so happy, so proud. And I'm sure, Guna, you probably share some of these sentiments too. So, but this is all I have to say. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Okay, thanks a lot, Benjamin, for that. I think we have now reached Guna. Anything else? Okay.
I'm speechless, but these guys are doing wonderful job, actually. Amazing job. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
Congratulations to them. So to the BMET team, I think we are going to clap for them. Tutawapigia makofi BMET team just to congratulate them for the work they've been doing. So as we are closing this, as we are closing the session, I would like us to clap on my count. So I'm going to count up to 3, and then we are going to clap 3 times. Okay, make sure you unmute. Make sure everyone unmutes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's go together. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, congratulations to the BMET team. I think we have reached the end for the session today. I think it was a good learning session, and we've gained a lot. So until next month, we are going to have another BMET session on March. And I thank you all for joining today, and welcome for next sessions, for next coming echo sessions in the coming week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
So much.
Hello, Advera. Sijui kama bado yuko. Nyamiaga. Naam. Nikuwepo Mkwenda. Naona hamna mtu.